Elphinstone Tower, also known as Dunmore Tower, is a 16th century ruin located on the Dunmore estate near Erith. Built around 1510 by Sir John Elphinstone, the tower served as the ancestral seat of the Elphinstone family for over 2 centuries before being sold to the Murray family in 1754. John Murray, the 4th Earl of Dunmore, famous for his role as the last royal governor of Virginia and for building the nearby Dunmore Pineapple, renamed the estate after his title. By the 1820s, the tower was no longer used as a residence and was eventually incorporated into a private estate chapel, with its vaulted ground floor converted into a family burial vault for the Earls of Dunmore. The tower is the final resting place for several members of the Murray family, including the 4th, 5th and 6th Earls of Dunmore. However, the mausoleum has a dark history of desecration. In the late 20th century, grave robbers and vandals repeatedly broke into the vault, disturbing the remains and scattering lead-lined coffins. Due to this persistent vandalism and the risk of further sacrilege, most of the family's remains were reportedly moved and reinterred at Blair Athol in the 1990s, though the empty, damaged tombs and heavy, sombre atmosphere remain within the ruins today. Paranormal reports at Elphinstone Tower are largely centred on the negative energy and uneasy sensations felt near the desecrated burial vault. Visitors and urban explorers often describe the feeling of being watched or followed through the dense, encroaching woods that have swallowed the ruins since the tower's partial collapse in 1968. There are local legends of a lady in white seen wandering the grounds, as well as accounts of phantom footsteps and disembodied whispers echoing through the site where the adjacent St Andrew's Church once stood, before it was demolished in the 1960s. Dunmore Park House is a grand, ruined country mansion located on the Dunmore estate in Stirlingshire. Built between 1820 and 1822 for George Murray, the 5th Earl of Dunmore, it was designed by architect William Wilkins in a Tudor Gothic style. The house was intended to replace the ageing Elphinstone Tower as the family's primary residence, featuring lavish interiors and a sprawling layout. However, the family's fortunes eventually waned and the house was sold in 1911. After serving various purposes, including a brief stint as a girls' boarding school and a polo club, it was abandoned in the 1960s. Today it stands as a roofless skeletal shell, heavily overgrown and considered one of Scotland's most haunting lost houses. The most famous person associated with the estate was John Murray, the 4th Earl of Dunmore, who served as the last royal governor of Virginia during the American Revolution. Although he lived in the older parts of the estate before the current mansion was built, his legacy and the wealth he brought back from the colonies funded the estate's expansion. A notable event in the house's history occurred during World War II, when the building was used to house evacuees and later requisitioned by the military. Its decline was accelerated in the mid-20th century when the roof was removed to avoid paying property taxes, a common practice at the time that led to the ruin of many of Scotland's great estates. Paranormal reports at Dunmore Park House often focus on a heavy, oppressive atmosphere that permeates the decaying rooms and the vast, dark basement. Urban explorers have reported hearing the sounds of phantom footsteps and children's laughter echoing through the empty corridors, which some attribute to its time as a school. There are also stories of a grey lady seen drifting near the grand staircase, and reports of sudden, unexplained temperature drops in the heart of the ruins. Because of its dramatic, decaying appearance and the history of the nearby desecrated Elphinstone family vault, the house itself has earned a reputation as one of the most atmospheric and purportedly haunted locations in the Scottish lowlands. We chose to start our investigation at the Elphinstone Tower Mausoleum, focusing on the site due to reports of paranormal activity tied to the desecration of the graves. While the environment remained silent during our time inside, we later discovered a distinct sound while reviewing our footage and audio. Is there anyone here with us? Would you like to come forward and communicate? We're going to introduce ourselves so you know who you're speaking to. My name's Fraser.
My name's Leo.
Mine's Alec.
You might remember us from before. We came back because we want to learn more about your story and this castle. We've learned more about your names and about your lives. You could let us know you're here by affecting any of the objects in the room. None of them will hurt you. You can also affect the candle that's burning in the window. You can draw energy from it. You could put it out. Is the Countess with us? Is there anyone here wanting to come forward and talk? A short while after we had finished setting up and began calling out, an unexpected equipment failure struck as every camera simultaneously died. In the sudden darkness, Leo's headlamp jolted to life, a startling occurrence given that the device is designed to activate only when a hand is deliberately brushed over the sensor at the front. Make you angry that people desecrated your graves?
When his head went on, your camera died.
So the camera just got turned off there when we were asking for the spirits to do something for us. On the Spirit Talker app, it came up saying, what's the camera used?
Use camera.
Use camera directly just after the camera was turned off, and Leo's wearing a headlamp where you need to brush your hand against the sensor to turn it on, and it did turn on. We were asking it 5 minutes ago to turn Leo's headlamp on. So hopefully this is a good sign that things are starting to happen for us. Just don't lose my batteries. Was that you? Did you do all that?
That was you, thank you.
We really appreciate it that you're wanting to talk with us and interact. What I would really like is if you were to touch any of the little balls, you could play with them. There's any little children here, you can play with anything we've brought. A lot of them light up with funny colours and make funny sounds. We've lit a candle on the window out of respect for you.
Can you copy this?
There's your lamp again. Is it brushing against your hair or anything?
No.
Or your glasses? Shortly after we resumed calling out, Alec tapped on the metal door of the mausoleum, asking for any spirits present to mimic the noise. Seconds later, Leo's headlamp jolted on for a second time. Notably, the footage clearly shows the light activating a moment before he even moves his head in reaction. While we cannot entirely rule out a technical equipment failure, the timing is certainly compelling, especially since the device requires a hand to brush over the sensor at the front to be triggered. During one final vigil within the mausoleum before heading outside to explore, We held a session and called out, asking for any spirits present to make themselves known. At the time, we completely missed a subtle sign occurring in the bottom left coffin hole, only realising during a later review of the footage that something had potentially responded to us. This chilling moment proved to be one of the last we captured, as shortly after, the cameras would die once again.
For you to do something for us, make a noise, touch the green lights, touch the wee balls.
We decided to take our investigation outside, carefully positioning our equipment, including torches, cat balls, and REM pods, on and around the grave of the 6th Earl of Dunmore. While we waited for a definitive sign, the results remained largely inconclusive. Although the torches occasionally flickered to life, we had to acknowledge that these activations could have been triggered by the vibrations of our own footsteps or a passing breeze. Despite the lack of activity, the atmosphere grew increasingly heavy, leaving us with the unmistakable sensation of being watched, while the sound of subtle, unexplained movement stirred around us.
Sounds like a wee. It could have been, but it sounded a bit. I don't know. It sounded a bit not true like. Can we hear you? Elphinstone Tower, 18th EVP session. Is there anyone here with us? Can you tell us your name? Are you a man? Are you a female? Are you buried here? Was your grave disturbed? Can you tell us one of our names? In the VPP. Right, let's go. Listen to this one. Elphinstone Tower, 18th EVP session. Is there anyone here with us? Can you tell us your name? Are you a man? Are you a female? Are you buried here? was one of our names. In the VPP. Are you up at the window? You throw something down? It's a duck, a geese, goose
Aye.
or whatever. So we've came outside. If you're in there, let us know. I want to turn this light off if that's better for you. You show yourself? Noisy flat up there. Like somebody's up there standing or walking around. Christopher. Is Christopher here with us? Christopher! You here, Christopher? Be interesting if any of the graves were Christopher's. Is that somebody with torches? No, through the trees at the front door of the crypt. Or no, because the crypt's there.
Crypt's there.
Right here, I seen it got brighter for a minute. Maybe people are coming.
Maybe.
If somebody's coming, we'll see the torch kind of flicking. We're back. That's strange.
We are back.
Unaware of the chilling auditory phenomena already captured on our devices, we made the decision to take our investigation to the ruins of Dunmore Park House. The crumbling estate only intensified the mystery as we were met with a fresh barrage of inexplicable sounds echoing through the roofless ruins. Beyond the auditory evidence, the atmosphere grew heavy with a persistent skin-crawling sensation of being watched and followed by an unseen presence. So here we are, we're now in Dunmore Park House and we're in the basement area. We're in one of the rooms in the basement. We've set up a trigger object in one of the next rooms. So fingers crossed something happens there. There's Alec sitting in the corner. Leo's away doing a solo vigil himself. We've heard a couple of things here already. We've heard some strange noises, but it could be anything. We're out in the wilderness as well. Do you hear that sound like somebody walking outside? Unable to find the source of the strange noises outside, we took a coffee break while the sounds continued to echo from the hallway and all around the ruins. I left my night vision camera recording in the passageway, which successfully captured several intriguing auditory anomalies and one distinct visual phenomenon.
Shoot yourself in the doorway. You're having a tea break. You walk in front of the light. You can see your shadow.
After our coffee break, we continued to hear unexplained thumps, scratching, and noises echoing from the hallway and basement rooms. As the atmosphere grew heavier, I decided to leave the group to perform a solo vigil in the other basement rooms. During this time, I conducted an EVP session to capture potential spirit voices. This video clip demonstrates just how vast the basement rooms and corridors of Dunmore Park House really are. Even while alone, the scale of the subterranean layout felt immense and unsettling. This segment highlights the isolation of investigating such a large historic space by yourself.
Is there anyone in here with me? Do you go towards the green light? Go towards the green light.
Basement. Dunmore Park House. Is there anyone here with me? Can you talk into the orange light that you can see? Can you tell me your name? How many spirits are here at Dunmore Park House? Do you know my name? What year did you die? End of session. Session. Basement. Park House. Is there anyone here with me? Can you talk into the orange light that you can see? Can you tell me your name? How many spirits are here at Dunmore Park House? Do you know my name? What year did you die? EVP3 session, Dunmore Park House. Is there anyone here with me? Can you tell me your name? What was this room used for? What year did you die? What is my name? How many spirits are there here? End of session. Past. Very much still present here.
As you can see, here's liqueurs. What's this? Something's behind me. So we're pretty deep, dark, in the deepest parts of the house. Olin, Todd, Claret. And it's such a shame that all these old houses, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, have ended like this. So you can imagine back in the day, this all piled high, wine and all sorts. So this was the liqueur area that we've just been in. Claret, rather. Liqueurs were here. This is where the boiler was. It's absolutely immense, this place. No, it's stunning, the front of it. You can just imagine what this place was like back in the day when it was a functioning house. Right, it's been tapping coming right there. Just down here. There's our little bat friend. Asleep. So just there in that room, noises all around us. Earlier on when we stopped for a tea break, we heard what sounded like somebody groaning. The stairs to nowhere. don't know if anyone's who's been here. I don't know who has been here before, but if you've been here before, you'll understand the immense size of this building. There's so many rooms, little nooks and crannies, and it feels like every time you visit, you discover a new little area that you've not found before. That's what it feels like. So yeah. Is there anyone here with me? Did you make a noise? Do you copy this? Sounds like somebody's moving out there. Are you standing at the door? You standing at the door? You make a noise or show me something to let me know that you're here with me? It certainly feels a lot different in here. Outside. Sounds like somebody's moving through the bushes. So that shows ground level there. I don't know if you can see that with the light. That's ground level. Are you following me? It's on the outside. There's something moving out there and we heard that. Alec and Leo are at the other end of the ruins. If that's you making the noise, I'm not scared, I'm just curious. If you can make that noise again. Are you wondering why I'm here? Let's go. Now, it's the fireplace. It seemed to happen was in here. Try another room. It makes you wonder what. Makes you wonder what all these rooms were used for. Was this the butler's room? Is it the servants' hall? So it's quite a big fireplace there, and there's one there, and it's got like green marble. Not green marble, green. A green fire, but. I've seen a Leo. I was getting tapping in there. Yeah. Well, mine was either something falling, dropping, thrown, or. But it sounded like tapping on wood, like a wooden wall or something like that.
See when you were up there, what else did you hear?
Up there. With the liquor, claret room, whatever it's called.
Top of the corridor.
Way down there. I heard as if somebody was shuffling or moving, and I've got it right. I've got it taped.
You were outside?
No, not I'm aware of. I heard noise inside, like kind of tapping, and then like kind of like that.
Outside, it sounded like dogs in the distance.
Right. This one here, there was tapping. I was in this wee room, and it sounded like it was out here. I wonder what this room would have been used for. Like, would this have been like a servant's hall? The butler's room? So it's got quite a big fireplace. And then there's a nicer one, fireplace, and I don't know what that would have been, a bookshelf or part of the fire. That fire. I was in here, and I was hearing tapping out here. Aye, what's that amazing? After both Leo and myself experienced a series of unsettling, strange noises in the areas that we were in, we decided to team up and conduct an EVP session. We hoped a digital recorder might pick up whatever was lurking just out of earshot. However, sadly, the EVP session, like the others, did not deliver any results. Afterwards, Alec, Leo and myself met up to discuss our next strategy.
Interesting.
Well, we done an EVP session here, nothing really, but when we were doing the EVP session we heard a couple of taps, right, in that room, so we're pretty much standing similar to what we were. Leo's next to the window bit, I'm standing where I am, and there's just like two taps.
Alright, interesting.
In the room. I was hearing my own before Leo came along, and I was hearing tapping as well. There's no drips
No, there's no
coming
way.
from the ceiling. So yeah.
rustling outside as well, so I think it could be animals.
Keep them in the wind as well. Just a couple
Well,
of
it's not particularly windy.
No, but I think there's
It's a wee tiny breeze, but it's nothing
it could
to.
be enough just to move a couple of leaves.
Are you here with us? Make a sound. Can you copy this? Hey, try again. I'll try. And you try and copy. I'll do it one more time. We know you're here. You'll probably remember us. You should know by now that we're not here to harm you or the building. We come with peace, love and respect. Right, I'm going to go back to the wee room.
What base camp?
Base camp, ground zero.
That wee
Did you hear a whistle there? I heard the whistle.
heard something, but didn't know what it was. Just as it came out.
If that was you, could you copy this? We decided to conclude our investigation at Dunmore House, unaware of the audio and visual phenomena we had actually captured on our cameras. Both Dunmore Park House and Elphinstone Tower proved to be an enigma, clinging hard to their secrets. There is a haunting beauty within these locations where nature is reclaiming what was once its own. However, the spirits of each site don't seem quite ready to let go just yet. So that's finished our investigation at Dunmore Park House and Elphinstone Tower. It's been interesting. We've heard a few noises. Really, what we need to do is check the audio when we get back, and yeah. So thank you very much for watching this, and we'll see you next time. Whispers echo through the highland mist. Shadows dance where the ancients kissed. Stones stand silent, holding their ground. Secrets buried, but never found. Paranormal-Scotland calls my name. Goes to the past in the amber flame. Through the clans where the banshees weep. Lost in the dark where the legends sleep. Flickering lights in the castle halls. Footsteps fade through the crumbling walls.
echoes of voices from long ago, haunting the land with their spectral glow. Moonlight paints the lock so deep, where the water spirits never sleep. A piper's tune